J-Drone here, check it out. This is my bugs that I've modded. I got the Q6 underneath it. I got a 600 milliamp an hour 2-cell battery, and we have that on top of it. We're gonna connect it all. We're gonna go for a little fly in my goggles. I wanted to do a range test, but you can see my visibility is about 100 meters. I don't know how well this is gonna work. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do a range test. So stand by, we will be recording through that later. And we are off, guys. The little blinky red dot up above lets me know the Q6 is recording. The little recorder is also the Q6 emitting via 5.8 gigahertz. That's what it's throwing through the air for its display, as well as the 6.0. As you can see, dude, we're probably like, I'm gonna say 55 meters, 60 meters out, and we're getting a lot of feedback. This is much denser fog than I had when I did the half-mile run, over half-mile run with this exact same setup, besides the fact that I had the OTG receiver on the cell phone. And we can't even really hit the edge of the abyss, which I think, now that we've gone a little bit further, I think the edge of the abyss is, I'm gonna guess that's probably like 110 meters, maybe 120 meters tops, and that's nothing. We went past 800 meters with the same setup, a little bit less fog and the OTG connection. So I'm chalking this up that it definitely has to have a lot to do with this precipitation. So we're gonna bring this back and adjust the antenna. Alright guys, so that's not working out too well. I was barely able to get out to 100 meters, and it could be all this moisture in there that's screwing with it, because the OTG E-Sheen receiver that I had on the back of the cell phone, I got over half a mile. And I've been out, I think, close to a quarter mile with these with a 200 milliwatt, and that's a 600 milliwatt. So what I'm gonna do is, I don't know if that'll hit. Let me see. We're gonna see. Now we should be clear, I think. That's close. It's close. No, what I think we're gonna do is we're gonna spin this way, and we're gonna just drop it. I think we're gonna drop it twice. And that won't hit, and see if maybe downward like that does better for my setup here. And we'll put this here, that way we should be able to land again, or take off. I might have a hard time landing, and then we'll take off from there. So we're gonna put that like that, that won't hit it, and see how that goes. All right, second run here, guys. We've adjusted that antenna so it's actually facing downwards, and it's straight against the body, no angle, and we seem to be getting a little bit better reception. But again, we're getting feedback well before the 100-meter mark, and pretty bad feedback. I'm able to see through it, so we're gonna push forward just a little bit. So it has increased the range just a little bit. Actually probably by 20 to 30 meters here, and we're able to keep going here. And right now I'm a bit lost. I'm kind of lost in the fog. I'm trying to figure out my orientation, and it's not going well. All the feedback's not helping me figure out my orientation, and I have to chalk it up to this dense fog, because again, I just did a half mile with less fog, and we're barely getting over 140 meters, I'd say we're at. And as you can see, I've slowed this down here. We're heading towards trees. I've lost my orientation completely, and we've blacked out. So we've actually crashed. We've crashed, and I'm going to show you exactly where we crashed. Alright guys, so this is the next day. Essentially my takeoff was there yesterday. It was going that way, right? So I'm gonna walk you through it, and I wasn't able to see probably at the edge there. The fog was so dense. So I'm gonna walk you through it. I heard it crash over here, so we're gonna go over here. This would have been a good time to bring my gimbal for the cell phone to test it, but I have to deal with some shaking here. So I went over here. The controller, as I'm getting closer to it, is not losing distance. I'm stuck at 93 meters. So I know from where I was standing, this birch tree that I constantly refer to, you're gonna see it up close. This white tree here, that's a birch tree. this birch tree from where I was standing is about 80 meters. If I go back a little bit further towards the road, it's about 100 meters. That's the birch tree. That's my marker. So we ended up coming over here, and I'm in a frantic of fury. I got my Q6 on it. I got my 5.8 antenna on it that clocked a half mile. I got a 2-cell battery that I'm not really that worried about. Came off the DM009. I have a bunch of those batteries, and my drone. And we also had an F200 battery in the drone. So let's see. We came over here. Right at this marker is about 90-some meters. I was thinking we're probably actually over it. That birch tree is right there, so we're probably over it. So we came down here. I'm trying to look. I'm up here. I'm looking. I can't see none. I can't see none. It's red. I should be able to see it. So we come over here. We step here. Let's see if we could redo this again without falling in the water. We stepped here, here, and here, which you didn't see my feet, but we went boom, 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 and I think over there. But anyway, so we walked, this is bamboo, Chinese bamboo. We walked through here. Can't see it. I'm not getting any feedback off my FPV, so the battery has to be out. Walk through here, walk over through here, get in through here, and then right here, I see it. It's sunk in the water, completely submerged in the water. So I pick it up and I run back home. All right, so this is all the gear that was submerged in that little river, stream, whatever you want to call it. And I was devastated. That's why I didn't do this video yesterday, because I was devastated. I thought I lost everything. So the first thing I did when I came in, I unplugged this. I saw there was water in both of the terminals there. So I hit this with a hairdryer. I hit that with a hairdryer. And on the opposite end of this was what was plugged into the battery, this battery, and there was no water in this. There was no water in that terminal either. Then I also unplugged this from the Q6, this end here, and again, it was plugged into the Q6. There was no water in it. So I ended up hitting that with a hairdryer. I hit this with a hairdryer, and then I took a different battery. I didn't use this battery right away. I let this battery dry out and whatnot. Then I tested the voltage on this, and then I connected them. And I'll show you. I'm going to connect them right here on screen for you. Let's see. We'll set that right there. We're going to just take our battery. And again, this is the same exact battery that was submerged in water. So I took this and bam, you can see it's lit up. So it lit up. I tested it. This still works. So score. Battery, this was completely submerged, still works. The only difference between this now is that it doesn't have a plastic coating over it, which it did. Myself, I might add a plastic coating back over these chips just to kind of protect them. I don't think I need to do it to the front. So second thing was the Q6. Immediately, I was devastated again because this is my second Q6. I love the Q6. We threw this in a container of rice, and we just let it sit there. This here, I just let dry out. I didn't test this at all until this morning. And then this here, what we did, the body's pretty much hollow. I took a hairdryer and just let it sit there and sit there and sit there. And after I looked in and I thought there was no more water, I plugged in a battery, let it sit. It went through all the flashing protocol. It connected to this, but all the lights, they would just blink red, blink red. Great, I just ruined this drone, right? So I took a hairdryer to it some more. And again, this is the day after. And as you can see, this is a Ghost, or not Ghost, Force One F200, I believe it is, GPS battery. It does fit in there. It does not snap in like the other one. You're gonna see, we're gonna go through our light protocol here. We're gonna turn on the controller, which is over here. Controller's turned on. The only difference now that I see is it seems to take a little bit longer to actually get into where the controller beeps and it needs to be into calibration. But it just did that, and we're going to go ahead and calibrate it. calibrate, 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 and then the lights turn green. This is good, man. And again, this was the battery, and this was completely submerged in water. All right, we are good to go. We got red in front there, and I'm just gonna fire the motors here. So we're gonna motors fired, dude. This is epic, right? Epic. Everything's working, man, so far. So we're just gonna shut down those motors. So the battery's not done, the drone's not done, and as you can see, and that's how I knew it was connected yesterday, even before I was able to fire the motors, when all these were just blinking red, because I'd pull the battery and this would start beeping. So that was a good sign. So all this stuff is good. Now what about the Q6? Had it sitting in rice, took it out of rice, it wouldn't start. I took it apart, hit it with a hairdryer, and still not starting. So I'm pretty sure this is the only casualty out of it. This is my second Q6. The other Q6 is operational, and I also I have 2 more coming. One of my friends from China, I told them about my story. They kind of felt bad for me, so I have 2 more coming. I haven't had luck with keeping the Q6 in good condition. I've kind of been abusing these, and they can only be bought from China. Nobody in the United States sells these, and this is one of my favorite cameras because of the camera itself, the quality, and because of the display. You can get run cams that I don't think quite have the display that come close to the quality of this, and Mobius is too. I have a Mobius, but again, it doesn't have that display, and they only come close to the quality of this. Guys, I'm J-Drone. Moral to the story, don't fly in dense fog, and if you do land something in water, bring everything in, hit it with a hair dryer, and hope for the best, because again, everything here, all this stuff here works. The only casualty is this Q6 right here. Guys, I'm J-Drone. If you haven't subscribed, please do. Take care.